Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've ever felt a bit tangled up trying to talk about the future in English, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to clear up one of the trickiest parts of grammar out there, the real difference between the simple future and the future perfect. Okay, let's get right into it.
So, does this look familiar? You're trying to make plans with someone and bam, you freeze. Should you say, I will meet you, or is it, I am going to meet you? I mean, they seem so similar, right? But they actually carry slightly different meanings. We're going to break this down and go even deeper.
So, first things first, let's build a really solid foundation with the simple future. This is your day-to-day workhorse for talking about what's coming up, but it's got two key forms that we really need to get a handle on, using will and using be going to. Okay, so here's the deal. The simple future is kind of doing two different jobs. Over on the left, you've got will, which is perfect for stuff you decide on the fly. Spontaneous decisions, offers you make in the moment, promises. But on the right, be going to is for things you've already planned out, or for predictions you're making because you've got some kind of evidence right in front of you. Let's see will in the wild. Your friend says, "Ugh, it's raining." You spontaneously offer, "I will drive you." Or you make a commitment. "I promise, I will call the client after lunch." Or you see someone with their hands full and you just react, "Oh, I will grab the door for you." See that common thread? The decision is happening right in that very moment of speaking. Now let's flip over to be going to. When you say, "I am going to visit my aunt on Saturday," that's not a sudden idea, right? That's a plan you made, probably last week. And if you look up and say, "Whoa, look at those clouds, it is going to rain," you're not just guessing, you see the proof. So the takeaway here is that be going to is all about prior intention or present evidence. All right, so we've got the basics down. Now it's time to level up and talk about the future perfect. This tense is such a cool, powerful tool. It lets you talk not just about something happening in the future, but about an action that will be completely finished by a specific time in the future. And here is the core idea, plain and simple. The future perfect is for an action that will be 100% done and dusted before some other point in the future. If you remember two words, remember these: completion and deadline. That's the whole game right there. And this timeline just makes it crystal clear. So here we are at now. All the way over on the right is our future deadline, let's say Friday at 5 p.m. The action, submitting the report, it doesn't happen at 5 p.m., it happens sometime before that. So by the time that 5 p.m. deadline hits, the task is already checked off your list. It's done. So how do you know when to use it? Well, you listen for these signal words. Phrases like by Friday, by the time, and before are just huge clues. They set up that future deadline we were talking about, which is exactly what the future perfect is for. Think of them as giant flashing signs. Okay, it is time for the main event, the tense showdown. We're going to put the simple future and the future perfect side by side in the exact same situations, and you're going to see just how much the meaning can change. This is where it all clicks. Okay, check this out. She will finish the project next week means the actual moment of finishing happens sometime during next week, maybe on Tuesday, maybe Thursday. But she will have finished the project by next week means that when Monday morning comes around, that project is already done. It got finished this week. It's a tiny little word change with a massive change in meaning. Here's another perfect example to really lock it in. If I say, they will arrive at 7, that's super precise. They're walking through the door at exactly 7 o'clock. But if I say, they will have arrived by 7, it's about the deadline. They could get there at 6:45, maybe 6:58. All we know for sure is that when that clock strikes 7, they are already there. Now that we can see the difference so clearly, let's get practical and sharpen our skills. This is all about spotting and fixing the common little mistakes people make, so you can walk away from this feeling totally confident. This right here is probably the #1 most common error. We see that deadline word, by Friday, but then we use the simple future. It feels close, but it's just a little bit of a mismatch. That signal word by is telling us we need to be talking about completion. And boom, here's the fix. That little word by just cries out for the future perfect. It's not about the action of submitting. It's about the state of being finished by that deadline. By Friday, I will have submitted it. See how perfectly that clicks together? Okay, here's another classic trap, but this one is more about the structure. The formula for the future perfect is will have plus the past participle. This example just forgets that last crucial ingredient. It uses the basic verb finish instead of what it should be. And the fix is so simple but so important. You just have to use the past participle. Finished. Always, always remember that structure. Subject plus will have plus the past participle form of the verb, like finished, eaten, or seen. And hey, to wrap this all up and make it super easy, here is a handy little cheat sheet for you. Just think of this as your quick reference guide. If you see words like tomorrow or soon, you're probably safe in simple future land. But if you spot by the time, or before, that should be a little alarm bell in your head ringing for the future perfect. It's a great tool to have. So let's end with a question that puts your new expertise to work. Think about your own life, your own goals and ambitions. By this time next year, what amazing thing will you have accomplished? Go ahead and give it some thought.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon for more. Don't miss out on our next video. Want to master American English? Find amazing book links in the channel description. Thanks for your support.